I don't know anybody who likes being deceived. I don't like being deceived, and I'm sure you don't either, because there's always just some type of like trickery behind it. And it's just like where somebody just got one over on you. And so here we have Jesus, who he went to Bethany for the night and stayed there with Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. And then he's returning with the disciples back to Jerusalem. And on the way, they pass a fig tree. And with this fig tree, he goes over to it. Well, why would he go over to it? Because what would be the sign of a fig tree that would have figs for him to go off the road and go to get something to eat? Well, it would be that it had leaves. See, because the difference between a fig tree and like other fruit trees is that fig trees actually grow the fruit first. So they blossom the fruit first and then the leaves. So if it is full of leaves, then it will have lots of figs in the shade of the leaves. So how do I know this? Also by personal experience, because when we lived in South Carolina, there was a fig tree in our yard, and that was the very thing. We would go underneath the canopy of this fig tree, and there were there were hundreds of figs that were there, and they're in constant bloom. So they're in constant happening. But one sign that we knew that the figs were ready is that it had the leaves there. And so Jesus says to the fig tree, he curses it, okay, because he's gone and there's nothing there. And he says in Matthew chapter 21, verse 19, and seeing the fig tree on the road, he came to it and found nothing on it but leaves, and said to it, let no fruit grow from you ever again. And listen, okay, so I don't know how you feel about that, but it's just like, whoa, that is just harsh. But he tells lots of parables about people, that when, the merchant comes to check, and when the master comes back to check, that it's like, we're supposed to have something that we have produced, fruit that we have produced for his kingdom, using the gifts and talents that we have been given. And whenever he should happen to pass by, we should have something to show for what we've done since the last time he's been to visit. And it's not that he's trying to check in on us, that there would be, that there's something wrong, and that he's trying to catch us not doing something. No, see, this fig tree, it showed everything on the outside that it would have fruit, but it doesn't. And so how many times do we parade around as if we're doing something good for the Lord? And then you know what? We're shallow on the inside. And listen, I don't ever want to be like that. So when I read this, it's such a conviction to me to check my life and make sure, what is God calling you to do? Are you following through with it? Is there fruit there? If not, what do I need to do in order to produce fruit? Because really what I'm doing is all about producing fruit for his kingdom.